Shalom, giving all praises, glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akyam worldwide. So this video will also be about the chariots, about the clouds, the whirlwinds, the so-called UFOs in the Holy Scriptures, in the Bible. Because these UFOs, what the so-called white man calls UFOs, are actually the angels of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They are the angels of God, you know, in these ships. So this video I will be showing scriptures proving this, that the UFOs are in the scriptures. And next video that I'm going to make is to show their two jobs that they are going to do when they arrive here in the planet Earth with Yahweh Shai. In the day of the Lord, which is really, really close. You look at the situation worldwide right now, it is catastrophical for this current system. And all the signs are there for it to go down. There is even basic everyday people who are seeing that this current economical and worldwide system that has been created upon blood, it's at an end. So it's not a mystery. As it says in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6 verse 9, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So now Esau, the so-called white man, is in the power seat, and us Israelites are getting ready to be raised up to rule all this planet Earth and the rest of the planets, man. So I just typed UFO beam, the browser, which is DuckDuckGo, and this, this is what the so-called white man says, that there is some, you know, green aliens connected to these ships. But it's actually the angels of the Lord who has the appearance of a so-called black man, dark-skinned man. Okay? And there's many instances of the angels in the scriptures. In some instances they just appear, and in some instances you have a lot of scriptures talking about these UFO ships, which are going to kill a lot of people, man. So let me get straight to the scriptures. The first one is Book of Psalms, chapter 100. Book of Psalms, chapter 104. I will begin from the first verse. Bless thee, Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with garment, who stretcheth out heavens like a curtain. The point is in the verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Okay, that's what I want to focus on. Who maketh the cloud his chariot. So the basic chariot would be, you know, with horses, you know, these chariots. These different horses, you know, that you could race or you could use in a war situation. You know, in the Old Testament it speaks about these different, you know, wars, and they having chariots, you know, as their war equipment, you know, chariots with these horses, and that's how they would use them to destroy and kill the opponent, the other nations. I believe it was the Hamites, the Philistines who had these chariots, for example. And that's not talking about, obviously, the UFO ships. Those are talking about the chariots which are on the ground. But the point is that it is a vehicle, you could say, that moves at a high speed. So when it says who maketh the clouds his chariot, now you have to think that the normal clouds, you know, they are nothing but mist. You know, it wouldn't make any sense that you have clouds as a vehicle, as a real chariot, because the clouds are not even tangible. You know, so it doesn't make any sense. So, who maketh the clouds his chariot is talking about these UFO ships. The clouds are a metaphor for these UFOs, who are the chariot of the Most High. These are the UFOs. You have the scriptures are written in code. Okay, so this is one instance, and let me go straight to. Yeah, I had a scripture in let me just go to Psalms chapter 68 verse 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. So the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So in this scripture it says that the chariots are the angels of the Most High. And in the last verse that we looked here in Psalm 104, it says that the Most High maketh the clouds his chariot. So these clouds, these chariots, are the Most High's angels. Thousands and thousands of angels who are getting ready to appear, who are getting ready to descend. Because there's already so many chariot sightings. Even here in Finland, you can see them. The chariots making these Edomites tremble and being for us a sign of salvation. You know, we are not supposed to be, us hopeful elect of the nation of Yasharala, we are not supposed to be dismayed at these signs, because the heathens are dismayed at them. That's in Jeremiah 10. Let me grab that real quick as well, because these chariots are a sign. You know, Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. These chariots are a sign in the heavens, in the skies, reminding us that the time is nigh, the time is near for the great salvation of the nation of Israel, and for the execution and enslavement of these heathen nations. But now only the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be saved. But let me get to the next scripture, which is Nahum 2 and 4. But you can see here the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Book of Nahum, chapter 2, verse 4. The chariots shall rage in the streets. They shall jostle one against another in the broadways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings. And you know, these chariots are going to be shooting laser beams at the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, at buildings and at the heathen nations to execute them. Most of the nation of Israel are not going to be saved in this side, but they're going to be reborn in the kingdom of Yahushua, in the kingdom of Israel. And then they're going to, you know, rejoice, be at peace. But first they're going to make it in a hard way. They are going to have to die first. Now some of the elect of the nation of Israel will also die as a form of martyrs, but they are the ones who are actually going to be raised first, beamed up first to these chariots. They have the honorable death, which then they will be raised up from their sleep and beamed up to these chariots. It's a different thing compared to these 2/3 of the nation of Israel who are just going to die and then be reborn when the kingdom of Israel starts as descendants of the elect who have been beamed up. So it says here that the chariots shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightning. So they're going to be doing their thing. And they're going to be fast as torches, and they're going to be shooting these laser beams. And you can just imagine how can it be, these different prophets received these visions of the destruction of Babylon with the nuclear missiles and the arrival of these so-called UFO ships that the angels of the Lord are coming in with. As the Apostle Gabar always says that, I believe he says it's one of the or the most greatest prophecies, the arrival of Yahushua with the fathership, with the ship that is, covering all the earth. Ezra in the book of 2nd Ezra, I believe it's chapter 13, described it as a mountain because it was so huge. And also one of the great prophecies is the implantation of the microchip, mass implantation. But for me, in my opinion, the greatest prophecy is the arrival of Yahushua and the angels with the so-called UFO ships, man. Breaking the skies and bringing the judgment to the 2/3 of the nation of Israel and the heathen, and saving the elect of the nation of Israel. So in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, just more on the angels. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. So the earth was lightened with his glory. You can link it with the book of Nahum 2 and 4 when it says that they shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightnings. And here in Revelation 18 it says that the chariot of Yahweh Shem Yahushai was lightened with his glory. Angel coming down from heaven, coming down from the sky. Are the angels going to come down from the sky with a cloud? With an actual cloud? No, but with his UFO ships. Having great power. Also in Revelation 1 and 7 and the book of Acts, the 1st chapter, verses, I believe it's like from 7 to 9, it describes that, Yahushua the same way that when he was beamed up after being raised up from the dead, it says that these angels told the apostles that the same way Yahushua was beamed up, that he got up, it was with a chariot, with the so-called UFO, is the same way that he is going to return with a mountain-like fathership. And in the book of Isaiah chapter 63, verses 1 to 3, it tells what he's going to do to you Edomites, the so-called white men, white race. And just a quick scripture. Yeah, it's the 15th verse. About the execution and judgment of these heathens that is going to come in the form of these UFO ships, which are actually the angels. In this lesson I went through the scriptures which clearly shows it. The book of Micah chapter 5 verse 15, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So the heathen are going to get fucked, basically. They're going to get fucked up by these chariots, by nukes, and by slavery, which is going to be non-stop, which is going to be, as Apostle Tahar said, that 6 days a week we'll be kicking the Edomites' ass, but the 7th day, the Sabbath, we will rest. So that's coming for you heathen nations. Mainly the so-called white race, and it's because you reap what you sow. Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and wisdom of the saints. So it's you reap what you sow, so it is extremely fair justice that is awaiting us. So just to conclude, that UFOs are mentioned in the scriptures, and they are not these little green men from Mars, these aliens, but they are the angels of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And in the next video I will go into their actions, what they're actually going to do according to the Bible prophecy when they return with Yahweh Shai to the planet Earth, when they arrive with Yahweh Shai to the planet Earth. Khan, Shalom.